Hey friends, so I wanted to sit down and do a super casual, just kind of chat with me video with you guys. And honestly, what prompted this is that I was just editing my last video, the Shop My Stash #2, which that video is already live. That would be the video before this. So it is already posted when you guys are seeing this. That's why I'm in the same outfit. I literally had just filmed that, and then I was sitting down to edit, the video. And as I was editing and rewatching it, I just did not like what I was seeing, you guys. And it got me thinking because, well, here's a few of the things that I didn't care for in that video. You guys know that I love doing product reviews. That is something that I am so passionate about. I love trying new things and telling you guys about them and talking about them. And in that video, I feel like I was going so fast and trying to get through the product so quickly that, number one, I really wasn't able to dive into the reviews as deeply as I wanted to. But I feel like I wasn't even enjoying myself because I felt like I was on a timer. And I just really, really didn't like that because I'm thinking, this is something that you absolutely love. Why are you rushing through it? And then the other thing that really stood out to me is that I was contradicting myself, and I didn't even realize that I was contradicting myself until I watched it back, which is one of those things too. If you've never done YouTube, like if you've done YouTube, you know what I'm talking about, but it's a very, very weird thing to like watch yourself on video because obviously all the people out in YouTube land get like a certain impression of you based off of the videos that you put out. But I know myself pretty deeply. So sometimes when you watch yourself back, it's almost like, wow, this doesn't even seem like me. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't. Anyway, what I was saying though, I kept contradicting myself. And what I kept contradicting myself on was I mentioned actually multiple times in that videos, I said how I really didn't want to have products in my stash that I didn't really, really love. And that I was I don't want to like lower my standards for products. I mean, I said that like a few times during that video. And then I turned around, and as I was showing the products that were currently like for the current basket, the new basket, there were products in there that I had just bought that I know darn well are not going to meet my standards. So why did I buy them? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know why I do that. Um because I love trying new products, obviously, but sometimes you just know deep down that they're not going to meet your standards. So why would I buy it? I don't really know. And I feel like I do that in so many just different areas of my life. And it's not always been that way. When I was younger, I used to actually make my own lotions and perfume oils and body oils and things like that because I had such a hard time finding what I really, really wanted. So I made it myself. And I actually sold them for quite some time too. And then I got out of the habit of that just because things got busy. But I don't know when I started settling. I don't know when it came to a point where I was like, okay, I know what works for me. I know what I want. And I know this product isn't necessarily that, but I'm going to settle for it anyway. I don't know when that started, but I feel like it's not just in body care and skincare and makeup that happens. I feel like I let that happen in everything from home decor, in clothing, in even like the food that I buy at the grocery store or the recipes that I make, at home. I just feel like I'm not, like I have a standard of where I think things should be, but I'm not like I'm not holding myself to that standard, and I don't like that. And I just really noticed that in the video because, well, another thing that I had mentioned is I had talked about one of the body oils in that video, and I had talked about how like the first ingredient was soybean oil, and I had mentioned in that not the greatest, that's not my favorite oil for body, but it's fine. And I even think I said that I probably would repurchase that again. Why, if I'm saying that that's probably not the greatest oil? I mean, and I'm not saying that soybean oil is necessarily good or bad for your skin, but I'm saying for me personally, soybean oil is not my top choice of what I would use for a body oil. And this is coming from someone who made body oils for quite some time. It just wouldn't be my top choice for my skin type. So why then am I turning around and saying that I might repurchase that? That just doesn't even it doesn't even make sense. So basically what I'm getting from that is I feel like my habits, like my shopping habits, I feel like the things that I am purchasing and the things that I'm just like allowing into my life, that I'm putting up with in my life, I feel like I need to kind of reset my thinking and reset my habits. And honestly, I feel like a really, really good way to do that is to do a no buy. Now, I did a no buy in 2020, and I started it in January of 2020 before it went crazy that year. So obviously when I started that no buy, I had really high intentions. I felt like I wanted to really dive deep into like the underlying reasons why I purchased certain things, why I felt a need to purchase certain things. There was just a lot that I kind of wanted to figure out that year during the no buy, and just to kind of learn about myself. So that started in January. I had, totally had intentions of, hitting it hard and really focusing on things and changing habits. And then obviously you guys know 2020, the bottom completely fell out. None of us knew, in January, none of us knew that was going to happen. But it was like February-ish, things started falling apart. So there were obviously all the restrictions came out where we weren't supposed to be out shopping. So it was kind of hard to do a no buy when I was already restricted. So it's not like even if I wouldn't have been on a no buy, it's not like I could have been out shopping. And then there were so many shortages that a lot of times you did have to kind of make do. You really didn't necessarily have like the top choice for everything. So I feel like that really messed with things. I mean, and then there's just the whole emotional toll of everything that was going on in the world. I know that was a very, very hard year for my family personally, and that had nothing to do with the pandemic. There was just some really, really rough, traumatic things that happened that year. So I feel like, I started the year wanting to do the no buy year, which I did finish the no buy year. I had that entire 2020 was a no buy year for me. I didn't like break it or anything like that. But I feel like I was so focused on all of the external stuff that was going on that I never truly addressed the internal reasons behind why I wanted to do the no buy in the first place. So I feel like a lot of those habits that I was hoping to break or change or at least figure out, I never really did. So even though it was a whole year of that, it was just a bad year to do that. And like looking back, I mean, obviously I didn't know that when I started, but it is what it is. And so I feel like I really would like to try it again. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I would do a whole year. I think what I'm going to do is honestly just start with like a month. So I think what I'm going to do is a no buy July. But once I get into it, I may extend. In fact, I probably will extend it. And I haven't figured out all of the rules that I'm going to set for myself or anything yet. I mean, I literally just watched, I was just editing that video and saw it and was like, okay, that something's got to change here. So I haven't really had the time to really put a lot of thought into it yet, but that's just kind of what's going through my mind right now. I just feel like I definitely need to change some habits and just try and figure out why I'm doing this in the first place. And I think one of the other really, really big things in that video that I just kept like in my head as I was watching it was just slow down. Like, I need to slow down. I feel like that is a thing in my life. I feel like I am constantly busy, doing things that I don't necessarily want to do. And then when I finally am doing something that I love, I rush through it. And I don't know why I do that, but that needs to definitely change. So I just kind of wanted to, sit down and give you guys a heads up. Like I said, I'm going to, take some time and kind of figure out exactly like the rules that I want to put up for myself for the no buy. And I know for a fact, like obviously the no buy would include like skincare, body care, that type of stuff. But honestly, like there's so many categories that I feel like I need to include in this, like even stuff like home decor, clothing, hobby type stuff, like hobby related stuff. Yeah, there's just a lot. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it in this video because obviously like I said, I'm going to put some thought into this, and then, I'll do an intro later on once I've figured some things out. But yeah, I think a no buy is in order, you guys. I think some habits need to be reset. So if that's something that you are interested in doing along with me, comment down below. And my goal is going to be to start with a no buy July. So officially kicking this off would be like July 1st. So I've got until then to figure out the rules. So if you want to do this along with me, take the time until July 1st and figure out what kind of rules and things that you would be putting into place for yourself and what kind of categories and stuff you would be including in your no buy. Because honestly, I love it when you guys comment down below and tell me that you are joining me, whether it's been in the Project Use It Ups, the Shop My Stashes, the no buys, the no buy that I did before. It's always really cool when I have other people that are kind of joining me. So let me know if it's something that you are interested in doing also, so we can kind of keep each other motivated. So, but that's it, you guys. I just wanted to hop on here really quick because I watched that video and I was like, there was a part of me that almost wanted to just chuck the video, but then I was like, no, I need that video to be there because I need to see why I'm doing this no buy. Because if I ever question, like, why am I doing this again? I'll just rewatch that video and be like, oh yeah, that video's, I'm all over the place and I'm a mess. So that video is obviously up. So anyway, but thank you guys for listening and humoring me all the time. I know sometimes I'm like all over the place, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you guys very soon.